Some folks in southwest Colorado say something strange has been hovering in the sky recently. Look at this video from the Durango Herald. Residents in Grandview say that bright light in the sky keeps appearing at dusk. Sometimes it just hovers, sometimes it moves, sometimes it changes colors even. They are thinking it's a UFO. So far, there doesn't seem to be any straight answers to figure out what it is. We have plenty of history with UFO sightings here in New Mexico. Now a group of historians and archivists want to open a record center, a first-of-its-kind library in the U.S., and it's planned for the Albuquerque Metro. It would include thousands and thousands of official and civilian case files and details on sightings all over the country. Griffin Rushton got an inside look with the guy who has a head start.
Yeah, David Marler has been collecting records of UFO sightings since the early 90s and boasts one of the biggest private libraries in the country, but he believes that information is not his to keep. That's why he's working with UFO researchers all over the nation to assemble a public archive of their evidence and hopefully uncover some answers.
One of the most popular New Mexico reports that ever happened was in Socorro, New Mexico in April of 1964, where a UFO actually landed.
Just like that reported sighting, David Marler's Rio Rancho home is more than meets the eye.
Eventually in 2017 put on a new addition to the house, and so now the collection resides in this room here.
Over the past 3 decades, Marler has collected thousands of documents, audio recordings, and videotapes of reported UFO sightings. There's even some declassified case files from the Pentagon's infamous Project Blue Book program.
Here you notice Special Inquiry Unconventional Aircraft. They were still trying to find a name for some of these things.
But Marler says his library is just a fraction of all the evidence sitting in collections across the nation.
I'm surrounded by a number of colleagues across the country who they themselves have amassed a large collection of historical data and archives, and they're getting to a point in age where they need to figure out what's going to happen to that material.
Marler wants to bring all of it to New Mexico and says a lot of those collectors are on board.
Our vision is to create the largest U.S.-based historical archive on the subject. We look forward to not only collecting and centralizing the data, but also digitizing it.
Marler says his own personal collection has already proven what you can learn once all the cards are on the table. Let's go back to that Socorro incident he mentioned.
There were even sightings, as you can see here, in Grants. We also have sightings in Espanola around that same time. And what's interesting, some of these reports parallel each other. So is it possible these witnesses were describing something real and they were all describing essentially the same thing?
He says the data also makes it easier to debunk some sightings.
I've had many people call me over the years saying, I see this light, it's bright, it's low on the horizon, and when we look at the astronomical charts, it's Venus.
Marler admits we may never know the full truth about UFOs, but believes a lot of answers could be sitting in filing cabinets just like this.
Everyone has a few pieces of the puzzle, but what if we gather all these puzzle pieces together? Wow. What insights might we gain in trying to understand this mystery further?